For our lesson today, we are still continuing with the Wassce June 2005 Mathematics 2 Theory Questions Part 1. And we shall be looking at number 4b. This question in 4b is a trigonometric ratio question. You know, when we talk about trigonometric ratio, then you are conversant with your sine, which is your so. Then we have your car, and then you have your toa, and then we also have the relatives of your sine, cosine, and tangent. And in our subsequent lessons, I'll be showing that to you. But for today, let us use our sohcahtoa to solve this problem that is here. Now the question is, given that x equals to cos 30 degree and y equals to sine 30 degree, evaluate without using a mathematical table or calculator x squared plus y squared upon y squared minus x squared. Now, when you see questions like this, you do not need to panic. The first thing you do is to come to the values given to you. X equals to cos 30. We're having 30 degree here. I'm also having 30 degree here. So get the cosine of 30 and the sine of 30. You should realize that 30 degree is a special angle. And what do I mean by special angles? They are angles that we can get their values by using a right equilateral triangle that is divided into two. And the length of the right equilateral triangle will be 2 units each. So let us put into writing what I just said now. Now, the very first thing to do is to draw your equilateral triangle. And you know the property of an equilateral triangle. We know that all the three angles are equal. That is, they are each 60 degrees. Now, because we are dividing the equilateral triangle into two equal halves, it is the first half here that I am drawing here. So the other half, which is the other side, is not drawn. So we are working only with the first half. Now, you see this line, really you divide it using this altitude, this line you see here, which is the height. This line will divide the angle that is here into two equal parts. So here is going to be what? 30 degrees. Then the other part here, which is not divided, will still remain 60 degrees. Now, since this is a equilateral triangle with 2 units, the lengths are 2 units. So which means we have 2 here. Then this line divides this side into 2 equal parts. So instead of writing 2, we are going to write here as 1 because it has been divided into 2. Now for the third side, if you use your Pythagoras theorem to get the third side, you are going to have here as your what? As your root what? Root 3. So you must be able to draw this triangle first if you want to answer this question. Now the next thing we do is to identify the 3 sides, the names of the 3 sides. Now since we are dealing with angle 30 degree, this is the angle 30 degree. Then if you check the side opposite that, which is this one, if you trace this angle 30 and you come to this place, you see that 1 is opposite this place. So that will now make your 1 to be what? Opposite. Then this side that is here, if you check the 90 degree, the side that is facing it is what? Is this length here where 2 is. This place will now become the hypotenuse. Now why this third side will become the adjacent. So you must be able to identify these 3 sides if you must solve this problem. Now the next thing we are going to do now is to get the ratio for sine and cosine. We're only concerned about these 2, so we are going to focus on it. Now let's come over here. Here says our x is equals to what? Equals what? Cos 30 degree. And based on what we have here, for us to get the cosine of the angle 30 degree, we need the adjacent side, as you can see here, the ratio of the adjacent and the hypotenuse. So what do we do here? We have our adjacent and we divide that by our hypotenuse. So we need this ratio. And that will become, what is our adjacent? This is the adjacent, which is what? Root 3. So we'll write it here, root 3 upon hypotenuse is what? Is 2. So we have root 3 upon 2 as a value for what? Cos 30 degrees, which is the value for x also. And if you check here, we have x squared. So which means after we've gotten the value for x, what do we do next? We need to get the values for x squared. If you take the square of x, it's going to affect the cosine as well. So we need to take the square of cos 30 degrees, which is cos 30 degrees all squared. And in doing that, our root 3 upon 2 would also be squared. Because anything you do here, since it's an equation, is going to affect all the terms on the right hand side. So if we square the value for x, that means our cos 30 degrees will be squared. And since cos 30 is root 3 upon 2, it must be squared also. Now the next thing we are going to do to get our value for x squared is our root 3 squared would mean root 3 times root 3. Then our 2 squared would mean 2 times 2. And if we solve this, root 3 times root 3 will give us 3. And then 2 times 2 will give us 4. So which means that the value for our x squared therefore is 3 upon 4. I'm sure you understood how our x and x squared are gotten. Now let us quickly come to this side and also finish up with do the same thing for y. Now we know that y has a value of what? Sine 30 degrees. And based on what we wrote here, the ratio for sine is opposite hypotenuse. So write it out. Opposite upon hypotenuse. Now, what is the value for the opposite? We come to the triangle. Here we have 1 for the opposite. We put it here, 1 upon hypotenuse is 2. We got 2 there. So now we've gotten the value for our y, which is what? Half. Alright? So, but we needed the value for what? Y squared. In order for us to get what we are looking for, what we are solving. So we are going to come here to write our y squared. Now, if we square the y, that means the value for sine 30 will also be squared. So we can say sine 30 degrees all squared. And in doing this, we take the square of half as well. And if we take the square of half, that is going to give us the value for our y squared, therefore, to become 1 squared is 1 times 1 upon 2 squared is 2 times 2. And if we solve this, we are going to have 1 upon 4 as our value for y squared. So now we've gotten the value for x squared and y squared. The value for x squared is 3 upon 4. And the value for y squared is 1 upon 4. The next thing we are going to do here is to look for the expression x squared plus y squared upon y squared minus x squared. And this is going to be equals to, for x squared, you already know it is what? 3 upon 4. So write it out there. 3 upon 4, then plus, what is our y squared? Our y squared, as you can see, y squared is 1 upon 4. So we have 1 upon 4. Then we divide all this. Then our y squared, 1 upon 4. You can see y squared is 1 upon 4. Then minus our x squared is 3 upon 4, as you can see there. So write it out, 3 upon 4. So the next thing we are going to do is to solve this fraction. And in solving this fraction, you don't need to panic. All you have to do is to observe the top fraction that you see here. First of all, you notice that we have 4 in the denominator and 4 in the denominator, which means the denominators are common. Now, in a situation whereby the denominators are common, we need to add up their what? Their numerators. So 3 plus 1 will give us 4 upon 4. Then we rule the main line that separates the top fraction from the bottom fraction. Okay? Now, in the bottom fraction here, you see we have the denominators to be equal. We have 4, we have 4. So we go on ahead to subtract 1 minus 3. And 1 minus 3 will give us what? Minus what? Minus 2. Then upon what? Upon 4. Now we are going to quickly transfer these values we've gotten here we are going to transfer it up here, and we say equals to. Now, what are we doing? You see, we are having 4 upon 4. Please don't be in a hurry to divide this. Just follow me what I'm doing, okay? So our 4 upon 4, we write it out. We write it out here as 4 upon 4. Then we come back to this place. This line which separates the top fraction from the bottom fraction is also the division line. And because it is a division line, we are going to come in here and write the division out. We say divided by what? Here we have minus 2 upon 4. So here we have minus 2 upon 4. So let's focus on this side here now. Okay, in the next step, we put our equals to sign. Then we'll write this first fraction out, 4 upon 4. Then in maths, if you are changing from division to times, then you have to reciprocate what we have here. Meaning, we take the top number to become the bottom, and the bottom number, we take it to the top. So here we have minus 4 upon 2. Now you can see here that this 4 and 4 can cancel out, and this number at the bottom can also cancel this one here, and this one cancel this one. So what we just simply do here is to cancel this one out, such that we have in this first fraction here we have 1 times, and this can cancel this to give us 2, so we have minus 2, then we have minus 2. If we multiply that, our final answer becomes minus 2. And that is the answer to this question. I believe you understood and enjoyed this lesson. Please do join me as I continue in this series of Wassce June 2005.